long have we been in Portugal now, would you say? 2 months, almost 2 months we've been here. I think we still feel quite unsettled, purely because we're living in somebody else's house and everything feels really temporary. And whenever we go to visit our little villa, it's just, you know, wrecked. It's just yeah.
It's just rubble, right?
It is rubble.
It literally looks like that.
Yeah, it does look like that.
We've been here now for 2 months, and as you can see, we're not in our actual house, still renovating, so we're living in a rental around the corner. I feel like, personally, I feel like that's the hardest part, because it feels very temporary and it feels very unsettling. Yeah, it just feels weird being in someone's house and you're not on holiday, and it's just a bit strange. It's quite displacing.
I'm going to give you a tour of my house. We're currently renting. Georgie wants to say hi. This is the hallway. It's got a nice carpet. This is the other toilet. This is a now 64 disc, which I do not know what that means. And then this is Dad's bench. I like to try and keep all of these lighted.
Generally, we're really good, and when the sun comes out, God, you just appreciate being here so much.
What do I see through them?
The morning dog walk is honestly like heaven to me, even if it's like rainy, windy, whatever, just being able to go and get my feet on the sand in the mornings after the school drop off and run the dogs around and go paddling and stuff is just, it's like therapy.
So let's get right into it.
We still feel very much like we're in the thick of it in terms of like admin and to-do lists and trying to balance everything with work, and the kids have got Easter holidays coming up and stuff, so it all can feel like a little bit heavy. But then you have the flip side of it that is like, you know, we get to take the kids down to the beach after school, and I don't know, everything just feels very surreal to me. I feel like I can't quite believe it, like it hasn't really sunk in that this is where we live now. It doesn't feel like being on holiday. So many people have asked me if it feels like being on holiday, and it doesn't at all. But I would definitely say that the shift mentally has been a lot harder than I thought it would be. I thought, you know, we really wanted this for like 2 years, and I thought it would be, we'd arrive and we'd unpack and we would just instantly feel settled, but it doesn't feel like that at all. I definitely think it's going to take maybe like a good year, and people that we've met out here as well have all said, you know, give yourself a year. It's interesting for me because obviously I'm like really into loads of like woo-woo self-help stuff, and so it's interesting to me to notice where I feel uncomfortable and having to get really comfortable in the uncomfortable because it won't go away.
I'm going to be reading you a diary entry piece of my homework, but I've only done a bit of it. Diary entry, 14th April 1920. Today is not like any other day because I, Peanut the dog, went down with a sinking ship. Literally. Because today was the day the Titanic ship collided with a colossal iceberg. I'll start from the very beginning. Martha is my pet human. I always take her for walks around the park. We had a 2-hour train trip to get to the ship, which was a bit awkward because I don't speak human and Martha doesn't speak dog. Woof woof. Yeah, so that's the end. Now, I'm just gonna...
Kids are settled, kids have some great friends, they love school. We've also made a few friends now, which is so nice.
So let's give you a updated renovation tour. We've completely removed a wall here that was crumbling down, and we've repotted the big birds of paradise plants that were growing up out of there because we did not want to lose those. So we got these massive, great big pots here, €150 each. So, and they're plastic as well, so they're not even nice terracotta or whatever. They've started to, I think, level out the floor. I think we've got a lot more to do. Kitchen has been completely removed, and got to order the window to go in there. Now they've gutted it and they've got rid of everything. They can take all the really accurate measurements to get the IKEA kitchen fitted in there. They wanted to put a full ceiling in here, which is a ceiling which is slightly down, and same in here as well, because you can see there's 2 pillars here and here. So ideally we'd have a full ceiling to drop this bit down a little bit so it's all flush, and ideally you'd have a full ceiling up here as well so everything's completely flush, but it's just too expensive. We can't afford to do it on this round, so we're going to leave it the way it is for now. We painted the whole place, but that was kind of pointless. We shouldn't have even bothered painting it because they're going to have to repaint everything when they're finished with this renovation. The bottom bathroom's obviously been stripped out and ripped out. They've started to take the tiles up as well from around the swimming pool now as well. They wanted to remove this big green plant here, but I liked it too much, so I begged them not to. I said, please, can you just work around it? But yeah, they've started to get the tiles up, chipping away at them, so got to remove all of those. We've got 100 by 100 tiles going out here. We ordered the tiles before we checked with the developers, and they said that 100 by 100 is a bit too big. Obviously it rains and you need that rainwater to sort of flow down into sort of a drain, and if you've got 100 by 100 tiles, it's a bit more difficult to make that kind of recess. I went into the tile shop today to find out if we could change them for a smaller tile, and they were like, no, they've been ordered, so tough luck. So we're going to have to the guys are going to have to work with the 100 by 100 tiles. So we've got the same exterior tile out here flowing right through into the interior. The electrics obviously here have all been taken out. They're going to be putting in double sockets to the walls. I ideally wanted to have these plug sockets which let you put in UK and EU plugs. You can get these ones which basically take both different kind of 3-pin and 2-pin, but my electrician out here says that it's not wise doing it that way, so we're going to have to use the Portuguese or the EU plugs, which is annoying because we have hundreds and hundreds of different electrical devices, all with 3 pins on them, but we just have to use adapters, you know, that'll be fine. The fireplace that we removed was here, so what we're probably going to do at some point, maybe at the winter, is get another little one, a little log burner put there with a flute just going up, and just use the existing hole that's already there. But, you know, we're quite a long way from winter right now, so we don't have to worry about that for a bit. Obviously upstairs we're not touching any of that on this in this phase because it's just we got normal on the lift. But we'll be pretty decimated after this is all finished, and we'll have to go into like recovery mode. We'll hunker down for like a year, I reckon, and just live in it, save some money, and then just do bit by bit. I've just picked up the guys a surprise pizza. Told Hannah I was nipping back to the car to get the brolly, and thought I'd get a couple of pizzas. Look what I got. Yeah, so it's going to be like a bit of a longer term project. Like the whole front of the house needs a lot of work. We can't even think about that yet. So this is like phase 1 development anyway, and it's probably about another, how long do you reckon, 10 weeks away from being finished? I reckon about 10 weeks, 12 weeks, yeah, 12 weeks. So it takes about 10 weeks just for the glazing to arrive apparently, and then that's going to take a while. And then the kitchen, obviously, that has to be custom made from IKEA, so they're going to give IKEA all the measurements and then get that installed.
I want it to feel really like, almost like a cross between like Portuguese/Japanese, if that makes sense. Those Japanese lamps and some plants, and that's it. But I live with 3 boys, so.
Yeah. Anyone who's renovated will know how, you know, you just, no matter how much you think things are going to cost, things always cost so much more. There's things you wouldn't even account for that end up just creeping up and costing you more money, and you keep getting blindsided by random costs. So, like even for instance, like the bird of paradise, that was 300 quid we had to spend on pots. You know, you're never going to account for that. You're never going to budget for that. But at the same time, we could have thrown the bird of paradise away, but it's too beautiful. You can't just throw a massive bird of paradise like that away. It's just amazing. So we had to do that. We had to get the pots. For years, I've had an obsession with sunflower seeds. These things here, these little bad boys. See that? They're like little sort of grey husks. You open them up, and inside you've got a little teeny seed. It's really good for my ADHD. I can just sort of chill out and have these little dopamine hits as I'm getting these kind of little seeds out. It's like so satisfying, cracking them open and getting them out. I love them so much. Can't stop eating them. We're not going to be able to tile the interior of the pool, unfortunately. We have the tiles for them. We've already paid for the tiles for the interior of the pool, but to drain the pool, to take out all the existing tiles, and to retile the pool is just, again, we just can't do that right now. we haven't got the budget for it. So we're going to have to wait to do the interior of the pool. It's going to be amazing when we do it because we have these like 5 stripes going down. This beautiful kind of tile. It's going to look amazing. And we're going to retile all of the steps down into it and stuff like that. It's going to look amazing eventually in a few years, but we're just going to have to do, you know, we have to learn patience and be patient with this because, yeah, it's going to be a labour of love for a couple of years. We've got rid of the ship, which was on the wall there. It's not really in keeping with the style we want to go for, so that's gone. They've got to plaster that up, but yeah, bit by bit, slowly. I'm sort of slowly trying to find my purpose out here. I sort of feel like a little bit like I've got to figure out what I'm doing with my life. And you know, we still got the blackout car business. This is one of my favourite businesses because it's so rewarding knowing that you're selling a product that is actually getting people off their screens and talking to each other. I love that about it. If you want a box, down in the description. That's going to be the main front door that we use to get in and out the house now, rather than go through go through the garage, and that's all going to be glass. So hopefully that will bring a bit of light in. We've got that window's quite big in there, so that's going to bring a lot of light in. So we're hoping this kitchen will be quite bright. Very important to try and get as much natural light into the house as we possibly can, and that's why we need an aircon unit. And we've got an aircon unit going up there because it's going to be like a greenhouse. The sun comes up over here and sort of sets over here, so that all of that is going to be getting midday sun. With that glass there, it's going to heat this room up so much. So that's why we have the aircon unit sort of being installed up there, so we can negate some of that heat coming in the summer, because it does get insanely hot, 35, 40 degrees sometimes in the summer. And if you've got big planes of glass there, sort of inflecting that heat into the house, it's going to get pretty unbearable unless you have aircon. Rufus, what is your favourite activity in the world and why? How would you feel if you couldn't do it anymore?
Reading, because I actually feel like it gives me more knowledge.
And how would you feel like if you couldn't do it anymore?
I would feel really dumb.
Really dumb? At the end of the garden there, you can see a sort of a little structure behind the plant. We wanted to kind of make that into an office at some point, but that's going to have to wait. The good thing is it has like potential. With the house in London, we pretty much maximised its potential. There's not really anything we could have done to the property in Bath that could have added value to it. It already had an extension built into the roof to make an extra floor, so it was at its capacity in terms of how much value could have added to it. The good thing about this place is that everything that we're putting into it we could get back if we sold it, but we need to make more than that because the tax liabilities, obviously, when you sell something, and the estate agent fees are quite high out here. So it's not just like you need to get the money back, you need to make quite a bit extra as well to cover the tax and everything else that you have to pay. But I think, you know, what we're going to do once we've got it all done is we're going to get somebody around here to value it. Once we've styled it all up with all of our furniture and our artwork and stuff, and then get people to come in and just have a look at how much they reckon we can sell it for. Not because we want to necessarily, it's just because we want to see, I guess, for our own peace of mind, just to make sure that we've not just wasted a bunch of money on this place. But yeah, it's very exciting seeing it all slowly pieced together.
I am just dying to get back in.
Yeah, I'm dying to get back in.
Here, I love how this house makes me feel. Like, I always feel so connected to nature in this house because you get to see the sunrise and the sunset, and there's just I don't know, this house just has a really nice feeling, so I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I'm like, oh, I feel really homesick for this house, which is so weird, right? Because we only lived in it for like 4 weeks.
You feel probably more homesick for this house than Bath.
I don't feel homesick for the Bath house at all.
No, nor do I.
At all.
I kind of want the outside to be like really like an oasis, you know, like with lots of plants and stuff growing out there, and cactuses and like nice seating area, and just to be, I don't know, I want it to look just really kind of like beautiful with a natural and like, yeah, with a bunch of nature. I do YouTube videos. I want nature look. I want that nature. Okay, right, we're gonna go, but yeah, that's it. That's your update.
Let's watch Grayson do his weird dance. Shaka, laka, boom, shaka, laka, boom, shaka, laka, boom, shaka, laka.